A few months after graduation, my roommate decided to kick me out of my own apartment. The only problem? They had no idea I was the owner. Fresh out of college, I had an idea. Let's all rent a place together, I suggested to my 3 roommates. They organized that one was a steal, close to my new job, surprisingly cheap and a world away from the cramped suburban box they were currently renting. It was a massive upgrade. For 3 months, everything was perfect. We were a happy little family, and one day I came home from work early and heard them talking in the living room. I looked it up, one of them said, her voice sharp with excitement, and this neighborhood is at least $5,000 a month we're paying. The whole place, once we rent out the master bedroom for $2,000, then our 3 rooms would basically be free. Done. Another voice snapped. Why is Hannah get the master suite anyway? So what she covers the utilities, how much can that possibly be? I'm so sick of her holier than know how to do. The third one chimed in with a spiteful laugh. The thought of her homeless and out on the street? I could die laughing. I smiled to myself on the other side of the door. If you want to see me on the street, too bad for them. I'm the owner. The voices inside continued, blissfully unaware. Anyway, the lease is up in 3 days. You just tell her we're not renewing with her. Ha! Serves her right. Always bossing us around, acting like... And the whole story about it being her relative's apartment and that's why it's so cheap and we have to take care of it like that. Crap. I already contacted the landlord. He said we can have it for the next term. Same price, just like that. My favorite roommates came to have forgotten everything. How fresh out of college they were, too broke to afford anything near the city, how they were crammed into a tiny place in the far-off suburbs, waking up at 4 in the morning for a grueling 3-hour commute of buses and trains. It was me who couldn't stand to see them suffer. It was me who lied, saying a relative had a cheap place available and invited them to move in. The truth? This apartment was a graduation gift. 4-bedroom, 2.5-bath piece of real estate right next to my office. 5-minute walk to work. I could have rented it out in a heartbeat, but my parents always taught me to be discreet about our wealth, so I never told them I was the owner. I charged them a token rent of $500 each and covered all the utilities and building fees myself. And this was my reward? My kindness thrown back in my face like trash? Taking a deep breath, I pushed the door open. The laughter in the room died instantly. The air went still. Lily was the first to recover, stretching her lips into a fake, bright smile. Anna, you're home early. Have you eaten? We made some pasta. Come have some. She pulled me into a chair. After clearing her throat, she began her little performance. So, landlord called. He was asking if we're planning to renew the lease. I just slurped my pasta, saying nothing. She watched my face, trying to read my expression before continuing. We decided not to. My hand paused. I looked up, feigning confusion. We found a cheaper place, she said, her eyes darting away from mine. Ye only wanted to rent with us because you couldn't afford the whole rent on your own, right? So now that we're leaving, you'll probably move out too, won't you? My voice was flat. It's fine. If you guys leave, I'll just take over the whole lease. I finished a big project at work, so I'm getting a nice bonus. For one person, isn't that a waste? Listen to me. You should find a small studio and save so much money. If I hadn't heard their little scene with my own ears, I might have actually believed she was concerned about me and used to Here, I said, simply too lazy to move. Anna, who had been silent until now, finally exploded. She slammed her fork down on the table. I was trying to be nice, but you're just not getting the hint, so let me spell it out for you. We don't want to live with you anymore. The hallway is thick with tension. Neighbors are huddled together, their faces twisted with judgment. I stand by my door, exhausted, clutching my suitcase. I, turning to face him, eyes narrowing. Who's looking for me? Marcus, the ice-worked-up blonde punk radiating cheap arrogance, swaggers through the crowd. He wears a heavy chain and looks at my apartment door as if he already owns it. I am, and I'm the one who told the landlord you're a liability. The music and the shoving the neighbors heard, that was me recording the evidence of your lifestyle. We don't want your kind here. I, laughing coldly. My lifestyle? I was 500 miles away in a boardroom. Jenna, stepping forward smugly. Don't bother lying. Marcus saw you. He saw you sneaking in at midnight every night this week. He even saw you swinging the sledgehammer at the load-bearing wall. Marcus, that's right. I've got the photos to prove it. He holds up a phone showing a grainy photo of of a girl with similar hair standing in the wreckage of the apartment. The neighbors gasp. The security guard moves to grab my shoulder again. I, steady and calm. Marcus, is it? Tell me, if I was the one swinging the hammer, why is there white plaster dust still caught in your eyebrows? And why are you wearing my father's limited edition watch? The crowd goes silent. Marcus instinctually pulls his sleeve down, but it's too late. I reach into my pocket and pull out a sleek black remote.